We'll call this meeting of the Finance Committee to order. Welcome. All right, no public comment today, so we'll move forward to the agenda. First on the agenda is purchases. Can we have an overview, please? Mr. Roberts?
We can. Purchases, nothing remarkable in terms of some normal purchases from the general fund. We do have in Ken's area, or facilities area, if you will, we had a steam leak, or a leak in the pipe that pumps steam from here to campus, right, Ken? Yes. And so on their building and site, you'll see a $47,820 request to fix that this fall before it gets too cold and snowy. And then the bond project is approval for contract for the additional air conditioning in additional elementary schools. So that's the nature of the purchasing agenda.
Let me just comment on the steam pipe. We've actually pre-ordered the pipe, and this is for the excavation and installation. It's 15 feet deep, so it's quite a project. Under the air conditioning projects, we did receive excellent bids. There's been a question raised on the controls line item. So I've asked Adam Singh from Chrisman Company, who's our construction manager, to explain why the question was raised and how it was dealt with in the post bids.
Perfect.
Adam, if you want to come up and share, please.
Thanks, Aaron.
Afternoon, everyone.
You can have a seat.
Oh, I can sit, okay.
Make yourself comfortable.
So we had 3 controls contractors submit on this. 2 of the controls contractors were very close in price, so we brought both controls contractors in. There was an issue in the bidding documents. The item in question that Ken is referring to is cost to carry a PMP bond, performance payment bond, for the project. We asked that the contractors not include that in their price. It was noted in our bidding documents, but there was also another location in our checklist to make sure that they have everything when they submit that says, is it included? So the one contractor did include that in his base price. When we brought them in, we did know about this issue, and we asked both contractors specifically if they included the PMP bond in their price. The one contractor that is low did include that. So we removed that from their base bid price, and now that does make them a low contractor. The low contractor that was red, we asked the same question during the post bid if they included it, and they did not include it in their post bid. Subsequently, the new relative low contractor did include control isolation valves to all the boilers, which is an added cost to this contractor per their base bid because they did not include that. So they did include it. We did remove that cost for the PMP bond, but they also covered more scope for that scope of work for, excuse me, for their base bid, which was in the contract documents, as this contractor did not.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I'm sorry if I was rambling.
I lost you a little bit toward the end there.
I got you. Just PMP bid. What was that again?
PMP bond, performance payment bond.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And in those post-bid interviews, was that explained to both contractors that there was a discrepancy in both the bid documents and the checklist? Okay.
Yes.
All right, very good.
Excuse me, and
Yeah.
how much was the PMP bond?
For the one contractor,
One more. I've got him.
3625 for Control Solution, who is Allerton, who are we recommending to award to, and 3010 for Intertemp.
So we're talking a $500 discrepancy on a $372,000 contract. Okay.
Also, the scope item where CSI did cover the correct scope with providing the control isolation valves to the boiler, as Intertemp did not.
Did not, okay.
So that would be an add to their contract to get an apples-to-apples comparison.
I see. Okay.
I'm curious, do you know if Allerton or Intertemp, if either one of them are in the city of Grand Rapids?
No,
No.
I don't believe so.
Entertemp is, I did look at that today.
Are they?
I don't know that CSI is, I'm not sure. I thought I saw the company was based out of Ohio, but I could be completely wrong on that.
We have Byron Center for, at least this is the address listed on their bid form.
For
Byron-
CSI?
For CSI.
Okay.
And Eastern Ave, Grand Rapids, Michigan, yes.
Did others, well, I guess it would be, did Entertemp submit for a local preference on their
No.
bid? No, okay.
But they, you say they're on Eastern in Grand Rapids.
Eastern Ave is the address listed on their bid, yes.
That's Grand Rapids or Kenwood, do you know?
It says Grand Rapids,
Does say
Michigan,
Grand Rapids, okay.
49508.
So Mr. Klein Parents, is it generally the expectation that local bidders specify that they?
Not necessarily. Typically, we try and check. So if that's in question, what we'd suggest doing is pulling that line item from the approval and let us go back and verify that we have in fact covered everything and bring it back. That way we won't hold the project, but we can make sure we're absolutely correct on that recommendation.
Okay. Yeah,
That would be good, please. Thank you.
yeah, I think that would make me comfortable if that's all right.
So
Yeah.
then I can get the corrected dollar numbers to Lisa to put in the minutes,
Perfect.
dropping that out,
Yep.
and it would adjust the contingency also.
Okay. Excellent, so then,
It's safe we do it that way, then, as you know, the board meeting in September, the
Yep.
purchase agenda is always pulled out to be approved by the full board specifically. We have that information by that time, which I think we probably can. Got a couple of weeks, we could
yeah,
approve it, the rest
at
of
the
it.
September 4th.
September 4th, yeah, would be
All
my
right. So
suggestion.
can we pull just that piece of the scope of work? Okay, perfect.
And
All
then
right,
if
so just
there-
the controls
we run
piece.
into another problem, it won't affect the major portion of the project.
Okay, excellent. All right, thank you very much for your explanation. Any other questions about the purchasing agenda before I ask for a motion? All right, then, I will ask for a motion to approve the purchasing agenda with the extraction of the controls component of the HVAC bid.
So moved.
Support.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Donations.
Okay, item 2, 3 donations and then a foundation grant. The first donation is from the annual Student Advancement Foundation for $242,350. SAF, for those who've been around a while, annually goes through provides us a list of items that they are contributing to the district. That's also included, so you can see specifically what the $242,000 will be used for within our district here. And John, if I understand it correctly, SAF meets with district people to get this list? Yep. So this is consistent with what we would need for the district also, obviously.
Very good. Any questions? Excellent. All right, may I have a motion to move forward this donation to the full board?
So moved.
Support.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Or all opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you.
The second donation's from Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. We had a great ribbon cutting event for the museum high school, and they have contributed $5,000 to cover part of that cost for the whole ribbon cutting event, if you will.
All right,
Motion to support the downtown Grand Rapids donation.
Support.
all right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And the third donation, this is Vision to Learn, and that just came into your packet this morning. Since John's here, maybe John give us a little background on the Vision to Learn and donated them.
I may lean on Kim here a little bit too, because she's right deep in on this. So we have been working with Cherry Health for years. We had to do both a dental and a vision program. But the way the Cherry Health program is funded through Medicaid funding, as I believe, we're not able to serve all kids and all schools. And so while it's an amazing program and our relationship and partnership with Cherry Health is very strong, We learned about this new program that's now getting national attention. They're in over 150 schools. I think it's in 14 states. One of the founders is actually from East Grand Rapids, who's now the LA United Superintendent. And they came to us with a program where, with national and local support, and eventually some Medicaid funding will stream into it, every child in every school will be at least able to access the services, and if and when the vision screenings determine they need glasses, they'll get glasses. And so this was the decision. It's a contribution. You'll see they're bringing, they're a nonprofit charity, and so this comes at no cost to the district, with the exception of some of the work that Kim and their crew that have to put into it. But the short of it is, all children, all schools will be served. And it's not to diminish the work that Cherry Health did, because what they have done is great. And they're going to continue to do the dental work. So the dental screenings and the work that they do with their mobile dentistry, that's something that we'll continue to do. But this is something we've been working on for about a year, and we're really getting to go mode right now. And so the approval here will be followed about the same time with the MOU, which would bind us, and then we'd be ready to go this fall.
All right. So this is a mobile piece that'll just go around to the different schools? Is that it?
That's correct.
Okay. Yep.
So they eventually, once we sign, pending board approval, pending all the finals with the MOU, they will be looking to hire the staff to purchase the vehicle and to begin that work as early as October, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, this year.
as soon as we have everything finalized.
Okay.
Interesting.
How are we doing this now with Cherry Health? They just come into the schools, there's no screening facilities in our schools, in our health centers, are there?
They just kind of set up camp in
Okay.
in a space, so a teacher's
Yeah.
lounge
Mhm.
or something. So this group would have basically a big van that they've outfitted as a clinic.
Okay,
And that's where they'll do their screenings and
Yep.
their exams when they come back. Then they would use a small space when they come back with just the optometrist, I think, who's gonna do the glasses fitting.
Okay.
Once the glasses are being delivered, but that's the only time that they would just need a small space.
got it.
And then the
Okay.
Kent County Health Department is still involved in this, just like they were with Cherry Health and portions of the screening.
Okay,
For the state mandated screenings, and then Vision will come into the schools and see all the kids that were not required by the state to be screened.
So specifically, what we're voting on in is approving this $280,404 in-kind donation.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the approximate value of the services
Yeah.
provided.
Yeah. Okay. Is John gonna drive the van sometime?
Depends on how fast they need it to go.
Motion to support Vision to Learn, focus on the future.
Second.
all right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Great, thanks. And then the Cook Foundation grant, a little memo there, Cook Foundation has been a supporter of Cesar Chavez School for a number of years, and this year they wanted to help fund actually not help fund, but actually fund a full-time FTE parapro. So that's about a $36,000 cost for that, and so the request is that you would approve that $36,000 grant from the Cook Foundation to fund that parapro into Cesar Chavez.
Okay, any questions?
Are there any cost implications to us for benefits or potential unemployment or any?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's our employees, so it's the 36,000 approximate cost of salary, benefits,
All
or
inclusive.
cost, yeah.
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 All right, may I have a motion, please, to move this forward to the full board?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. And then the last item under the business items is the transportation agreement with the Catholic schools. This has been an arrangement that has been going on for a number of years, certainly prior to my employment here. We agreed way back, instead of actually providing the transportation services for Catholic school students that are within our district, we are paying them a sum of $225,000 they then provide their own transportation for their students to the particular schools they go to. It's paid in 3 installments. To my knowledge, the cost of this is not increased over the years. And it's always a 1-year agreement, which is why we're bringing it back to the Finance Committee this year to approve it again.
Questions? Very good. May I have a motion, please, to move this forward to the full board?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Reports, please.
Reports.
Warm, safe, and dry, nothing new to report. We do have a little money left that we have to determine appropriate place to spending, but there's no time limit, and it is good as a kind of a savings
Slush
account for an
fund.
emergency.
Yeah.
Bond, obviously, we opened Buchanan and Museum High School. They're beautiful buildings. City, we transitioned to the classrooms on the north side of the building that were closed last winter. They are in finished space with air conditioning, so that part is very comfortable. This phase, there is some interface that the students have to cross where construction crosses, so it's not as clean a division, but it's necessary to complete. Right now, the plan is to be done around May, that time frame. The elementaries that are getting air conditioning, the 2 that we'd started, Campus L and Frostell, they are running now with air. We had some hiccups with Frost where we had it on and then it went off for a few days, but it is running right now. The other 4, North Park, East Leonard, Shawmut, and Brookside is what was in the purchase agenda. The anticipation is those will be done in the April timeframe. There'll be second shift work primarily and be done in April, so we're there for when we need cooling next spring. We did get good bids, and it does include replacing the windows at North Park, and we're still under budget. Now, the North Park, we'll have to wait till summer to do the window replacement, but we can still get the mechanicals on the same time frame. Ottawa, Southwest, and Union have started preliminary design. Our anticipation right now for Ottawa is to bring a bid package before Thanksgiving that would be for long lead time mechanical and electrical items. And then the main bid package would come probably in January. So we'd be looking at probably 1st of March, February finance and 1st of March board approval for that main contract. The Southwest High School will just be one bid package, and it's again going to be probably a late January bid coming in February and March for board approval. And then we've started some work on Union, and right now we're looking at that coming back to the board probably about the May timeframe, so we could start in the summer. The security projects, and they've gone a little slow. Some of the door equipment was longer lead time. Some pieces have been started, but nothing to report is complete yet. But once the materials get here, it shouldn't take too long.
Good.
Any questions on the reports?
No? Any questions? Yeah, proving that you can't keep anybody happy, though, I can tell you that my daughter, who went from North Park to City, is telling me how cold it is in the air conditioning. It's like, girl,
Well,
pack a sweater. Be grateful.
Mr. Comparents, could you do me a favor though? And I know just remind me on the broad parameters of what those warm, safe, and dry funds could be used for. I know it's pretty specific, but just a Cliff Note version.
we can use them for full equipment replacement. Like if a boiler failed, we could buy a boiler. We can't use them for enhancements.
So I guess just as it said, anything that helps the building to be warm, safe, or dry,
Or pretty much, we could do roofs, boilers.
which would be
Uh,
safe.
We
Yeah.
did the work a year ago at Ridgemore with the interior work that was eligible. Certain things are very specific. We can't do playgrounds. We can't, for whatever reason, add a generator. We
That's
can't,
interesting.
it's not enhancements. If it's deemed by their definition maintenance, we can't do it. Their definition is different than ours.
Okay,
But the warm, safe, and dry we picked because it was a pretty good definition.
okay. All right.
So we have to wait for equipment failure? We can't
To spend.
anticipate, really? Okay.
Well,
So, yeah.
we could, in anticipation, say, we're going to swap this
Yeah.
boiler for a new one.
Right, right.
But right now, that's kind of our savings account for an emergency, an
Yeah.
unanticipated
Yeah,
emergency.
okay, very good. Good question.
And then the last thing I have is, back in June, we brought the MOU with the First Netherlands Reformed Congregation, which is adjacent to Beckwith. At that time, the intent was for them to put a gate in the fence and build a drive between their parking lot and ours. It would be sized to handle their plow truck so they could get it across, but the intent was that their parishioners would walk between. There would not be members driving. Subsequently, they went to the city to request a second driveway and were denied. So they've come back to us and asked if we could modify this to allow them to drive between, and that allows their congregation to exit on, I guess, Beckwith Street and also on Leonard and help with traffic. And we as staff support that, but we thought we should bring it back because that is a change from what we presented before.
Yeah, nothing else in the agreement has changed, just essentially the size of the walkway has been widened to accommodate vehicles, so.
And really not much because they were gonna drive their plow on it anyway.
Okay,
It's a 12-foot wide path that they'll be building between and a double leaf gate. It will still only be opened on Sunday mornings.
okay, very good. Okay. We don't need our approval, but thank you for keeping us in the loop.
Yeah, totally.
All right, nothing under policy, correct, for today?
No.
Okay, anything else for the good of the cause?
I just want to apologize for being late. Definitely don't want to be disrespectful of people's time, though. In all sincerity, just was a real cluster, you know what, today, and it's
we
one of
know
those
why,
things
yeah.
for sure. So,
They
yeah,
understand. All
yeah.
right, thank you. All right, with that, this meeting of the Finance Committee is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.